the game, if you don't mind, and that is when you want to speak, please raise your hand so that I could obviously look on the side and all the rest of it. But we found that worked very well last month, and so I hope that that will be a convenient way to alert us. So the first thing I like to start typically when we have workshops, face-to-face workshops, is providing a few, I would call not ground rules, but a few thoughts. Number one, the whole intent of the workshops are to help you move from point A to point B. And that means wherever you are in your family history research, we want to take you to the next step if we possibly can. And so what I also suggest is everybody has this one gnawing question or two or three, but this one question that you want to get answered, where you need some help, and we'll try to help you with that. Um, the next thing is we like to start with the newcomers first because that gives them an opportunity to really gives us an opportunity to put on our thinking caps and to try to help in the broadest possible way. So who is joining for the first time? You want to raise your hands? Okay. That's Madeline, and
Yes.
who else? I don't see the other. Well, Michael's been here before, so it's Madeline. That's Madeline is Mo. Hold on a second.
No, Mo is Sheila.
Miss Sheila.
Oh, that's Mo is Sheila. Okay. All right. Well, Sheila, it's the first time that you've joined us, right?
No, I was here. I was here last time.
You were. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for. Where is Madeline? Madeline.
Yeah.
It's the first time you're joining us.
Right.
Okay. So tell us where your family's from originally, or the families, and what kind of help do you need today?
Okay. I didn't specifically write down questions because I wasn't know I was going to be blessed with this opportunity. But one thing, I live in Connecticut, so I can't come to your meetings in person. So this is wonderful. But I'm originally from Philadelphia.
From where?
Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
Okay.
Okay. I live here 46 years. So I'm from most places now. But we have had different brick walls since we started this process about 5 years ago. And the reason I was so anxious to hook on to somebody from Canada is that my parents, who are both deceased for 10 years, so I cannot ask them these questions. Okay, and I'm sure other people have that problem too. They can't ask. Okay, there are people that my parents visited in Montreal, Canada. Okay, because I have their address somewhere. I didn't get it ready, but I could. And Nathan Harold Kaplan, Caplan. And I looked them up and I have found some things on Ancestry. The problem is, how do I, from being in the United States, find more information? Or there, I know he's deceased because I have a picture of his grave in the Jewish cemetery there. But how do I find his ancestors? So I thought that would be a perfect question to ask you.
Okay. Well, yes, it is. And thank you. First of all, you should know that the first of all, are you familiar with the Jewish Genealogical Society of Montreal website?
I don't think so.
Okay. Well, that really is a key starting point and a helpful way in which to look at a number of different options, very, very quickly. So, Gary, can you, well, Gary Perlman, who has built the website, is on with us. So
Oh,
hold on. How do I share my screen? Okay, I'm going to share my screen and bring up the website. So here, share screen. You can see my screen, everybody?
I can see you.
Okay, so we're going to go to the Jewish Genealogical Society of Montreal website. And if you haven't used it, you'll find that there's a hell of a lot of information here about research in Canada and Quebec. And we also have a lot of tools to make the job easier. So, for example, and let's this is the real workshop. We're in a virtual workshop. We go down to the genealogy dashboard, and we how can I put that someplace? Okay, we'll get rid of that, and we put in here Kaplan with a C, correct?
Correct.
And we're looking at Nathan, and we do a go. And now this entire set of resources has been populated. Now, one thing I don't have on this computer is when did he die approximately?
I'm not sure. I could look it up. As I say, I didn't prepare because I didn't know.
Okay, so did he die before 1996?
I believe he did.
Yeah.
He died in 1987.
I'm sorry?
He died
Oh, we
in
found it.
1987.
Okay, so Gary's already got that information.
Good.
He's died in 1987.
Yeah, I have postcards from him and my parents' name, their name in my parents' phone book. So that's my clue.
Okay, so I'm going to check on my other computer the Quebec Death Index, and it is Nathan Kaplan, and I have a Nathan Kaplan died 1991 here. Yes,
Nathan Harold Kaplan died October 6th, 1987. He's in Joburg.
Okay, so it's Harold. I'll just check. No, it doesn't come up. Now, here's the thing that do you know when he was born?
No.
Oh.
Okay, because
I never met him. My parents traveled from Philadelphia way back with my brother and drove up, and I know they were with them. That's all, because my brother was young and he remembers being in their company. So okay. That's all I know. And my brother says we're related to them. That's all I know.
Gary,
he was born 1910 on July 9th.
Okay, so that's what I wanted to know, because my friend was Harold Kaplan, the late Harold Kaplan, and I didn't want to get them confused. So if he was born in 1910, he should appear in the census. And so we go to the census of Canada. There's a number of different ways to go there. This one here is Quebec Free Library. And is it a name search here, Gary? I can't.
Yeah, it's a name search, but I don't know how many variations it'll look for.
I see.
So you might be better off in Ancestry, because they'll look for variations.
Is the link here for Ancestry?
Yeah, it's down. Go down. There's 3 Canada sets, and then there's
okay, I got
Ancestry.
it. Oh, that's 1901. I don't want 1901.
That would be impressive if he was in 1901.
Okay, so let's do the 1921 census. And we've got a bunch of Nathan Kaplans in Montreal. This one's born apparently 1909. And this one is in Toronto. So presumably this will be the one that we want to see. And we go back here and we see actually the information. So he was the son of Bernard and Sophia, and he had siblings Samuel, Annie, and we have this name Leopold that was living in the house. So can you do a screen capture so that you have this information? Or
I'm actually taking, I know you're going to laugh at me because I'm not so computer savvy, but what I'm doing is I'm taking my iPhone and I'm
taking a
the
picture.
camera as we speak, because to write it all down, I would be nowhere.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. Okay, so that's a starting point. Now, the other thing that to keep in mind is that there are also birth, marriage, and death records that you can find, mostly birth and marriage on Ancestry with this Nathan Kaplan. Once once you've got that information.
Yeah, I think at one time, and I probably have it in a book, not too far from my reach, that I actually found when he got married and that he was a marriage record.
Okay, so now, are you looking for descendants of Nathan Kaplan?
Yes, I am.
Okay, so here's the way in which we find out. I'm going to take a look right now because I can't show it to you. It's on my other computer, and what I'm looking at is a database of all the birth marriages in Quebec that have been fully extracted by the JGS in Montreal. Not just the listing on the website. So we know the father's name was Bernard, wasn't it?
Yeah, according to...
Okay, so I got Bernard, and I'm putting in Kaplan for the family name, and I am now. And so Bernard was married to, was Leah? Did we see that? I don't remember whether this is his marriage. Marriage was in 1940.
Yes, he married Diane Rose Kraft in 1940.
Okay.
Yes, that's right. That's right. You have that right.
She's buried next to him.
Yeah, that's right. You got the right family.
All right. So now I'm going to redo the find. I'm going to look for see if he had any children.
I can't believe you're giving me all this time. It's wonderful.
Okay. Well, we'll just.
Stanley?
I hope it's helping everybody.
Yeah.
What about newspaper, the obit in 1987? It'll list the family.
Okay. And where are those obituaries? Here we go.
Can I say something? Because I've just checked it and I found it.
It's not there?
I found it.
Oh, here it is.
That's not him.
Is either one of these?
A 1987 obit.
19. No, it's not 1987. Okay.
Try the 91.
No, this is. It's not. It's 2003. Now.
Yeah, he's in the Gazette.
I'm sorry?
Nathan Harold Kaplan is in the Gazette. That's his unveiling I'm looking at. Guess I want 1987.
My goodness.
Gary, you want to share your screen?
Sure.
Okay, I've got to.
I stopped your sharing, Stanley.
You're not sharing yet.
Yeah, how do I share my screen?
At the bottom in the middle, bring your cursor down to the bottom, and that bottom line will come up, and you'll see share screen.
Okay. Oh, share screen. And
Gary, on my computer, it's a green box with an up arrow
Okay,
right in the
now we-
middle
Oh,
of
there
the.
it goes.
okay.
There we go.
So we're in newspapers.com, which I don't have a subscription to, but you can see the snippets. And so here's his obituary.
Okay, I have the access through the Jewish Public Library.
Okay.
I think, Gary, if you could add that to the website, to your to the dashboard, the link, and you could indicate for members of the Jewish Public Library.
Well, that would be a different search. Like this is newspapers.com. For the website, it would be for the the Gazette itself.
Yep.
And I don't know where to access that. If you send me a note, I can add it.
Okay, so we don't have to spend too much more time. I would suggest that you send me an email, and I will check it and send it to you later. Okay?
Okay, you'll tell me how to send you an email.
It's SMS Stanley Mark Stanley SMS Diamond at AOL.com.
Okay. SMS at Diamond, smdiamond at AOL.com.
That's correct.
Okay,
All
good.
right. Now, Gail.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
Excuse me, before we move on to somebody else, can I ask Madeline a question?
I have an answer for her. That's what I'm trying to say.
Oh, okay. And I have a question when she's.
So I can wait, but yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't raise my hand.
Yeah, go ahead.
Gail or Merrill?
Gail, go ahead.
Okay, so I just did a search through Ancestry because while I'm sitting here, I'm looking. That's what I do. So I did find some kids' names and some siblings' names for Nathan through. It is newspapers.com, but Ancestry gives me a little bit of an extract. I don't have the subscription either, so I have some names if you want. I have his children's name, which is Norman Ian. And I could see from Gary's screen that the other son, Alan, was already deceased. So Alan Michael was another son.
Is Alan Michael the second one that's deceased?
That's right.
And then there was a Norman?
Norman Ian.
Ian, okay.
Okay, there's also some siblings, but I don't know that that's going to help you, right?
And there's grandchildren.
And there was grandchildren. I couldn't read what the grandchildren were. Could you
Grandchildren were Lisa and Cindy Cowell. Oh, it must be Kaplan. And father-in-law of Bella Kaplan. So Bella must have been married to one of the late sons.
And what we didn't do was search the Canadian Jewish Review, because when he got married, if there was an announcement in the Canadian Jewish Review, which you can get to on that search engine, sometimes it gives you the names of all the relatives who were at that wedding. It was called the Yenta Gazette. There was no such thing as privacy. Literally everything was there. And if you want to know what she was wearing, it was a blue taffeta gown with a red rose. I mean, they do
I'd
everything.
just like to know how they're related to us, because my parents would not, in that, in their older years, before they were ill, they travel from Philadelphia to Canada to see them. And they had Jewish New Year cards exchanged. I mean, this was something.
Okay, well, you know what? you'll, God willing, you'll be able to find the children and find out how you're related.
Yeah, the problem is, as you see, that the names that you gave me, like Lisa Kaplan, there's probably 5,000 of them, and Cindy too.
Oh, not in Montreal. I mean, that's
Oh, and not Montreal.
no, I mean, there was obviously a lot of Kaplans in Montreal, but it's much easier to zero in when you've got all that basic information that we've talked.
Oh, and I'll be so happy to tell you that I had a success thanks to you. My family will be in tears with excitement.
Okay, so make a donation to the Jewish Genealogical Society of Montreal. Okay,
I'd be glad to.
Okay, Gail, it's now Gail's turn.
No, well, I can wait, but Norman unfortunately has passed away too, but there is an obit. Okay,
For
so
Norman.
yeah, so you can look for that too.
Okay.
And there's probably their marriage records.
Yeah.
And so you can find out what the spouses are named, and so you can get more information on them.
Okay, I'll keep on looking. That's my homework.
All right, we have to move on. So,
Okay, good.
Gail, you have some of your own questions.
I do, but I don't mind waiting, really.
Meryl had a
Oh,
comment.
Meryl. Okay, Meryl had your hand up. All right, Meryl, go.
Okay, I just wanted to tell Madeline that I'm from Connecticut also, and I wonder if she knows about a Jewish Genealogical Society of Connecticut.
I belong to it.
Oh, good. Okay.
I'm also a member of the Philadelphia Genealogical Society.
Okay, because maybe we've met there then.
Oh my goodness, that's so exciting.
Yeah. What,
Okay.
Oh my goodness, who knows,
exactly. Just one more question. What town do you live in?
Norwich.
Okay, I'm in Hampton. Okay, and
I've been in Hamden many times.
All right, guys, we're going to move on. All right,
okay.
Meryl, question.
Oh, you did spend time with me last time. Are you sure you would like mine?
Okay, so let's move on to Gail.
I have a question, but when you're ready.
All right, Gail, your question.
So I am savvy, so I have done a lot of research and I've got a lot of different families. But the one I'm looking at is, I actually was going to email you, Stanley. I'm saying it wrong. I'm going to try the way I think it's pronounced, Shemish, but it's PZ.
Yeah, you're talking about the town in Poland, Przemyśl.
Przemyśl, yes, I
Right.
am. So this crazy little story. My sister.
Well, hold on. Before we go any further, have you searched on the JRI Poland website for?
And I've gone beyond, and I've looked through Gesher, Galicia.
Okay, now hold on. My next question is: are you aware that JRI Poland has indexed all the Jewish records of Przemyśl up to 1938?
So that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for a marriage in 1917.
All right, so let's take a look, okay? And we're going to, first of all, share screens.
Because I haven't seen beyond that on.
Well, you don't, because it's not on. We don't have it live on our website because these are years covered by Polish privacy.
Perfect.
And so we have indexed the records for more than 250 towns that don't appear online.
Awesome.
So
I wanted to hear.
And so now I'm going to go to the records of Przemyśl. And we'll go to USC, meaning Urząd Stanu Cywilnego, which is the Civil Records Office in the town hall. And we're going to go to the town leader file. As you see, it's a big file because there's about 40,000 entries. And we're going to look, and here's the file, the births, the marriages and deaths. Here's the inventory of all the records, how many there are, 37,145. I wasn't far off. So let's get the name that you're looking for.
So I'm looking for marriage, and the last name is Goldstein.
Goldstein. Okay. Yeah. Do you know the name of the husband
That's the husband.
I'm sorry.
It's the husband, and it would be with an I. That's the way they
makes no difference. No, it's not with an I. It's with a J.
Okay.
Well, this is Galicia, So it could be with an I.
And the other name is Monshine. Mondschein.
MON.
D, like Delta,
Yeah.
not Z, yeah, Mondschein.
Okay. So we're going to look for both those names in all this data.
Perfect.
It takes a moment. There's a lot of data to search, and this is a search tool made by my colleague Howard Fink in Acton, Massachusetts. Okay. So it's searching the marriages, and then it'll search the deaths. Now it's the deaths. A lot of Goldsteins, obviously. And you were right. It's with an I. My apologies.
Sorry, I've done so much.
Okay. And we go to the marriages, and there it's right at the top. Well, no, it's not.
No, that's exactly what I want. It is Alexander. That is so amazing. I'm going to cry.
Okay.
It's amazing.
Well, before you cry and disappear, I want you to send a donation to JRI Poll.
Yes, I am.
Okay.
Absolutely. I
Now-
meant to do it before I got on the phone, but this
Now, you
is
see that.
amazing.
Yeah, this is Goldstein, David and Tsipra. Those are the parents.
Okay.
Those are your relatives?
Well, it's my sister-in-law, her family, and actually their son, who was born in 1917, is still alive.
Okay.
And sorry, if I can get that screen back again, oh yeah, I want all that. I want
Well,
all that.
all right. So
Oh,
you
God.
please write
All
me.
the siblings, everything. Oh my
Look-
God.
Look at there are all the children.
Let me just, Greg, I'm gonna just do a Madeline check.
And we'll check and see if any other children died. Nope.
Oh wait, I want that. Can you? Oh my gosh, yeah, up there. That's what I want first. And this is unbelievable. This is my.
And have you ever heard of the town of
They
Medica?
are from Medica. The catch was the birth that I have for this man, who's my sister-in-law's father. It says his father's last name was Goldstein, and he goes by Alexander. And we actually know that he chose the name that sounded less Jewish when he left for the war.
Yeah.
And so we knew there was an Alexander in there. They've DNA connected, but nobody knew where Alexander fit. And my guess was that his father was not a Goldstein, even though on his birth his father is listed as Goldstein, and that his father had to be an Alexander, or his father's mother was an Alexander.
Yeah.
So-
Okay. So
Got
let me show you one more thing.
Sure.
We're talking about marriages. Now these people were born 1923 and 26, and this looks like twins.
Oh my goodness, look at that.
Well, we'll check, because usually we indicate twins in the comments column, but when not necessarily, but could be, because often there was a delayed registration and two children were registered at the same time. Acts 30 and 31, records 30 and 31.
Well,
Okay, so
can I just ask a favor? Can you give me back to the marriage screen just to see those names? Yeah, that one. Thank you.
and now the question is whether, for example, if you're interested in Alexander, whether there's any relatives of Meyer Laib.
Yes, I totally.
So what we do is we go to the name finder and we put in Alexander and see if anything, what comes up. So it's a supplementary search, and you can see there are more Alexanders in the database. Not as many, but there are more. And your sister-in-law might be very interested in.
Yeah. Unfortunately, she's passed away, but
Yeah.
It's my nephew who's doing it. So
And take a look.
that is.
Oh, more children.
Yeah, they had a ton. Unfortunately,
But the
Hi,
children
there.
were registered
as Alexander. These other
Alexander. And let's take a look when the marriage took place, 1909.
Does it say
Yeah,
19?
because they were often registered by the mother's maiden name, and that happens, of course, in Galicia before the official marriage.
Right.
But the marriage took place in 1909. Okay, I'm getting confused. But anyway, so now you know that there's more information. So we've got 7 children. And
Stanley, I'm just going to interject for a moment for the people who are frantically photographing the screens. This session is being taped.
Oh, sorry.
And the link should be posted on the Montreal Jewish Genealogical Society website in a few days.
Okay.
So hopefully, if that works, and it should, you'll have access to all these screens again at your leisure.
all right, so let's.
Oh, that's very nice.
This is amazing.
Now I got to try to figure out how to stop sharing screens.
Can I talk for a second while you're here? I just want to introduce myself a little bit because some of the people who are here I've talked to. So Marin, I'm Gail Harris, who.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah. And Eileen, we've talked about some stuff before. I can't remember what it is. And Gary, I've tried to help you and didn't do very well on the Jauber stuff before. I shared some transcriptions of the photos and stuff. I had a little difficulty, but I did work on that with you.
Thank you very much.
And it's exciting for me to hear Gail's voice because we met so-called on a Romanian Jewish group on Facebook. And I could tell by her responses to my question that she had Montreal roots, and we emailed a couple of times.
Yeah. I'm also a town leader for a town I can't say properly for Pischach is how I pronounce it, but not very active town, not a lot of people from it. Okay.
What town was that?
Pischach, which is Pischach.
Oh, right. I'm just forwarding the link to Philip because he couldn't find it.
The meeting is closed, Stanley, and he didn't register. Don't forward it.
Oh, okay.
I mean, we asked people to register about 10 times and he never registered.
Yeah, well, he's not very.
I mean, if you really want, I can open the meeting and open the door and let him in.
Yeah, I think I'd like to.
Okay.
All right.
You're kinder than I am.
Yeah, well, there are reasons why.
That's okay. That's okay. I'm going to unlock the meeting.
So. Okay, so we've done that. And I'm trying to get out of the Zoom sharing.
Oh, I'll do that, Stanley.
Oh, okay. Thank you. For some reason, I can't get out of. There we go. All right. So let's go on to the next person. Gail, you can email me separately. We can talk more about it. And who is next? Who hasn't asked any questions? Put up your hand.
Yeah, I haven't asked anything.
Okay.
Hi.
All right, young lady, what's your question?
Okay, I spoke to you last week and you did a little bit of research for me and you came up with my father's family from Krakow or from Jaslow. Unfortunately, the name you gave me, Mendel Wimisner, was from my grandmother's side. I'm trying to find out my father's father, and I don't know how to do it.
From Krakow.
Yes.
Okay. Are you familiar with Dan Hirschberg?
No.
Okay. So Dan Hirschberg has done exhaustive study of the Krakow families. He's a professor in California.
Okay.
He is not part of JRI Poland. And I will confess, when it comes to JRI Poland and Krakow, we have been remiss in a number of ways. It all goes back to when a man took our data. He was supposed to be the town leader and created his own website,
Wow.
which was a very, very hurtful thing to do way back 20 years ago. And our town leader threw up her hands. Pardon me, our other person who was, she said, I don't want to do anything anymore because all my work has been stolen.
Wow.
So as a result, we have not been proactive in Krakow activity. So there's two things that you can do. You start with Dan Hirschberg. You go to his website, you put Dan Hirschberg Krakow, it'll come up. And when you've reached a point where you've done as much as you can, I can introduce you to a researcher in Krakow, Jakub Czaprinski, who is a remarkable researcher, also does things for JRI Poland, and we're very happy to refer people to him. Okay?
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
All right. And just, one other thing when you talk about Krakow, have you reached out through the Family Finder?
I have.
You have.
All I can find really is my grandmother's name. I can't find my.
Okay. Well,
yeah.
There's so many different resources when it comes to Krakow that somebody like Jakub could
Right.
be very helpful. Obviously, I know of a number of them, and we do have people that can provide information. But start with Dan Hirschberg, because he's done a remarkable job of creating family trees from the Krakow records. Okay?
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Who's next?
Eileen Goldman's had her hand up for quite a while.
Okay, Eileen.
First of all, I want to say that
Where's Eileen Goldman?
I'm right here.
You're very soft.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I don't want to wake everyone. Can you hear me now?
No, you're going to have to adjust your volume. At the bottom of the screen, next to the microphone, there's an up arrow on my screen.
Well, let me take off my.
No, and it says audio settings.
There we. I have speaker increase, but.
Oh well, okay. If you try that.
Yeah.
Otherwise, there are audio settings on this, but you're very, very soft.
That's worse.
Is that better?
Morning, Emily.
Oh, there's
Bill
Philip.
Greenberg.
Welcome,
Thank you.
Philip. All right,
Thanks.
Eileen, go ahead.
Okay. So, first of all, I want to say JRI Poland has been amazing, and Gary's dashboard has been amazing. I've gotten a ton of information from there. And also, I do know Dan Hirschberg. Our kids are friends, so he's amazing.
Oh, really?
Yes, our kids went to the same Jewish school here, so I know them for a long time.
Well, all I can tell you is I would love to make a deal with them. How old is Dan?
Dan's in his 50s, I guess, or late, like he's about my age. Yeah, probably in his 50s.
He's a baby.
Oh, thank you. Yes, he's very bright man. Yes, he's
okay. So, Eileen, just okay. I will. I'm making a note because I may want to be in touch with you on.
Sure.
All right. Small world. Okay, your question.
It is a small world. So my question is, I don't even know if it's even possible. I've done extensive research. Poland, I've found a ton of things, and through all of your resources. But my father's, my late grandfather came from Ukraine to Montreal, and I am desperately trying to find his mother's maiden name. I have a brick wall there. I'm related to a ton of Glickmans in Montreal. I don't know how, and I'm trying to find my great grandmother's maiden name from Ukraine.
And he came to Montreal.
Yes, his name was Sam Berger or Berger. I don't know which way.
And did he die in Montreal?
Yeah, and I have his headstone. I know his parents' name, first name, and well, his father's name was Jacob. His mother's name was Ida or Adele. I don't know. It's written two different ways in different places. But,
what was Sam's children's name?
Hyman Joseph was my dad, and
okay.
Dora was my aunt.
I see. Okay.
So it's the Ukraine. I mean, I know that they're starting to get Ukraine archives, but I don't think they're in the town.
And when did he come to Montreal?
Early 1900s. He went to Halifax, I think St. John's first.
All right.
And then to Montreal.
And and he was approximately how old when he came?
That's a good question.
He was an adult, right?
Yeah, he was a young adult.
All right. So have you looked for his naturalization application?
Yes, and I cannot find it.
And what about the Montreal Circuit Court naturalizations?
Can't find it.
Can't find it either. Okay.
There's two Sam Bergers. There's in 1913, Sam and Samuel.
Yeah.
In the Montreal Circuit Court.
Yeah, that's his brother Sam. There were two Sam brothers. One is Shimon and one is Shmuel, but they both went by Sam.
Okay, so what town was that they from, Gary?
Just opening up.
It's I've seen the brothers.
Yeah, well, the two brothers would be from the same town.
Volin, Ovruch. I know this, but I can't find the.
In Volin.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Have you been in touch with anybody from the Kremenets group?
No.
Okay. Because Kremenets was in Volin, and the Kremenets people have done a remarkable job.
Okay. I'll try that. I didn't know that Kremenets was.
I'm going from memory. But anyway, look for the Kremenets Shtetl link or Kahila link. One is Ron Doctor, the man who started it, but he's no longer the leader. But the name of the leader escapes me at this moment. But
I can look it up.
They're both extremely good researchers and very much aware of their remarkable work on holdings. So I would, start that. So did you try to find whether there were any records from that town?
I haven't been able. I know they have some in Russian, and I can't even begin to figure it out. But I have not seen anything from his town is Ovruch in Volin, but I have not seen anything from there.
Did you look for at Roots to Roots?
Yeah.
And it does list records?
I did not see anything. I did not see anything.
Okay.
But I wonder if the death certificate of my grandfather would list his mother's maiden name.
Well, his mother's did he live to be live to 1940?
Yes. Yes, he died in 48, I think.
Well,
or 46.
That information may very well be in the 1940 Canadian National Registration. Are you familiar with that?
No.
Okay, that is a dynamite source of information.
Something new.
Pardon me? I'm sorry.
How do I access that?
Okay, you'll have to. There's 3 steps. The first step is to find out where they lived, because you need the street address in order to get it. This 1940 registration was a wartime census that is as complete as a census, and everybody over 16, alien or citizen, had to register. And that means the husband and the wife had to create their were separately recorded, and in order the information is available from the from the Pension Census Unit of Statistics Canada. There is there is a link on the website where you can write for it, and it's $48.15 Canadian monopoly money. So it's
So
and
$10.
and it takes 6 to 8 weeks to get the report. And the report will give you not only the birthplace of the person, but also the names of the parents and the birthplace of the parents. Sometimes it'll only say the country, but most of the time it'll actually say the town as well. Sometimes they didn't have the mother's maiden name, but if they're going to find the mother's maiden name, that may very well be the key source of information. Now, the same thing. Yeah, Gary, go ahead.
Eileen, what was Sam's wife's name?
Yep.
What was the wife
Jenny
of...
or Henya.
Oh, Henya. So it could have been
Jenny.
Annie. Could have been
Henya.
Annie. Because
No, that's the other Sam.
That's the
That's
other
the other
one.
Sam.
Okay, because he had a subsequent federal naturalization, which would be a nice file.
Yes, I have it.
Oh,
Wait a
I
second.
have that.
No, you have the naturalization application, or just this?
I've written away to the
Library and
Canadian,
Archives
where
Canada.
they have the file, the whole file, like, yeah.
And you're waiting for it.
So I've done a few. I have that for a few, but not my grandfather. I cannot find his.
Well, no, but if your grandfather's brother's naturalization application will have the maiden name of his mother.
I don't think I saw. Okay, I'm gonna have to look again. I will look again.
Okay.
So, and of
That
course,
would be good.
that's only $5 if you still.
Yes, I have done that several times.
Yeah. Okay. So that if you've done that, there's no problem.
The Canadian naturalizations, currently they say they're running it 90 days to send those. I doubt it. I think it's going to be more. So they're in a state of delay.
Yeah, I'm used to it being about a month or two. It used to be a month, but now it's longer, I've noticed.
No, right now they're asking for 3 months, and it's not less.
Well, 3 months is better than never.
Yes.
It all depends on how urgent it is. Okay. So,
Thank you.
any more questions, Aileen, at this point?
No, but I appreciate everything you guys do. Thank you so much.
Our pleasure. Okay. Who's next?
Emily Alpert has had her hand up for a long time.
Okay.
Yeah, hi. So I'm cousins with Philip, Philip Greenberg, so we probably have the same question. My great-grandparents, Joseph Greenberg and Anna or Annie Weinroch, moved from Romania to Canada around the year 1900. We know their father's names, but we don't know their mother's names. And I looked in the Romanian records, I couldn't find anything. I couldn't find their marriage record or anything, and I'm not really sure. Now you were talking about the naturalization, which I never even thought of looking at, but is that the best way to get their mother's names?
I would think so, as an easy starting point anyway. As you said, if you're a Canadian citizen, it's $5 and you have to wait. But also, of course, you have the 1940 national registration if the application for citizenship naturalization doesn't.
They were no longer. They weren't alive. I mean, they weren't alive probably at that point.
I'm sorry. Repeat that.
They were no longer alive at that point in 1940.
1940. But if there was any siblings, then you can do it for the sibling.
Yeah, I think they came by themselves to
Montreal.
When they were married, they already had about 8 children when they arrived.
Okay. So you say these are Greenbergs who came from Romania.
Right.
Philip, your families, the Greenbergs, are from Poland, or they're from my town. So, are you related to Philip, or are you just?
No, no.
Yeah, we're cousins.
We're cousins.
And Emily is a much better researcher than I am because she's motivated and knowledgeable. She's a lawyer living in Israel now, and she's taken over the task of finding our connection with Rebbe Levi Yitzchak of Berditchev.
I see. Okay.
That's what this is all about.
Right. So we know the father's names, but you know, because they're on the tombstones, but we don't know the mother's names. Of both my great grandparents, and I guess it's Philip's grandparents.
All right. So once again, you know, that naturalization application could be a key.
So how do I do that? How would I do that? Where do I send to exactly?
Okay, Gary, do you want to just run through that? Because Gary's not around.
You want me to run through what?
No, I'm just saying the naturalization application on the Library and Archives website.
Sure. What is the name we're looking for?
The husband's name was Greenberg, and the mother's and the wife's maiden name is Weinrach.
Okay.
You're muted, Gary. You're muted.
What is his name?
All right.
Joseph.
Okay. Hold on for a second. I should probably share my screen. But I'm taking a look in the Montreal Circuit Court.
Gary, can you share your screen?
Yeah, let me work on that. Okay, share screen. And okay, I think I'm sharing.
Yep.
Okay, so I didn't find any Joseph in the Montreal Circuit Court, but I'm going to look in the federal records. So what country are we looking for?
He was from Romania.
Okay, could he be Joseph Henry from Romania?
No.
Okay, could he be Greenberg?
That's possibly. I think they spelled the name Greenberg in Romania that way.
Okay, we'll take a look. And zoom in and
Yeah, got to go back one.
it's got this is the page that's linked. It might be under Greenberg. That's very
Joseph C. Greenberg Joseph.
I don't know where people are looking, so I don't know where to go.
Well, I'm looking. I see, Joseph Greenberg, C. Greenberg Joseph.
Well, it's Yosef Tzvi. His name was Yosef Tzvi.
Aha.
You have to look at Greenberg with 2 E's.
Oh, yeah, but he went to Eganville, Ontario. No, that was or Smithers, BC. I don't know. One's a logger, one's a dealer, so that's likely not him.
No.
Yeah, no. His wife was Anna or Annie. Maybe. I did find her obituary, but it's weird that.
Actually, she was called Chana.
So those are all the Greenbergs with J-O in them. So I don't know if there's any more.
Well, maybe it was Chaim Joseph, and he didn't use the name Chaim.
Not likely.
Well, check and see what you find.
Okay. So if we go there.
My father was Avram Meir ben Yosef Tzvi. So that was the name, Yosef Tzvi.
That's Abram Yitzchak, merchant, and that's Ottawa.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that doesn't look promising.
Okay. Try the next one.
Joseph Henry?
Yeah, Henry could be Hersh or Tzvi.
Romania.
He's a tailor in Montreal.
Montreal Taylor.
Taylor? I don't know.
Where's the Joseph Tzvi? Where's Is that it? The merchant?
He was maybe a merchant, but in Montreal. But that's Issy. That's not.
We don't know.
You may have better luck with the wife, because then it would have her. But I don't see that it says the parents' names anyways here, would it?
No, it won't. You have to apply, $5, get the application for citizenship.
Oh, first you have to find out the list, and then you have to ask them for it, I guess. Okay.
And, the parents usually do not appear on the application.
Oh, okay.
In the 1940 National Registration, there were specific lines for each parent.
Mm-hmm.
But in the naturalization applications, there was not.
I see. So you're better off with the 1940 and find out where they were born and maybe try to work from there.
It's possible.
Mm-hmm. Okay, thank you.
And also, of course, his obituary might have the information.
It does. I mean, he died in Israel, actually. After his wife passed away, he moved to Israel. His wife's obituary just had her maiden name, but didn't have her mother's name.
Okay, but when did he die in Israel, approximately?
In 1940.
Okay, so he died in Israel in 1940, and how long did he live in Montreal?
Until probably 1934, 1935. After his wife passed away, he moved.
Okay, so it's very possible that there was an obituary in the Canada Adler Yiddish newspaper. So when my grandfather died in New York in 1930, there was a obituary for him in the Canada Adler in Montreal. Gary, can you check the Canada Adler?
I'm taking a look in there. Okay, there's Hannah Greenberg.
Yeah,
True for Hannah Greenberg.
Yeah, that was his wife. Yeah.
Yeah, spouse is Joseph. And usually if there's two, one is an unveiling.
Somebody's phone is ringing.
So, am I still sharing?
Yeah.
Oh,
No.
Okay.
We're seeing you.
Okay, you're just seeing me. Well, there's 2 entries. Hannah Greenberg says 5 sons, 3 are married, 7 daughters, 5 are married, 22 grandchildren.
yeah, that's her.
You could
And-
share again. Just click on the button.
Okay, share screen, and okay. So there's Hannah,
Hmm.
and the other entry is up at the top, and that's 1934. Oh yeah, it's an unveiling date.
Hmm.
So that's the Canada Adler obituaries, which I guess Montreal and Ottawa have combined forces to get them transcribed. I think maybe mostly Montreal. But there's no information.
Just for everybody's edification, the Jewish Genealogical Society of Montreal has been funding the work to create these obituaries, the indexing of the obituary. And it costs us $1,000 per year. So I don't know up to what year we've already done. I think it's around 1940. But as I said, we have to raise money in order to do the next year, whatever the year that is. I don't do you know offhand, Gary,
I really don't.
Well, talk about Greenberg, it's Alan Greenberg who would know. He's been the liaison with the Canadian Jewish Archives, and Janice Rosen, the director. I probably got it written down someplace. Okay, so other possible sources for the maiden name is.
Excuse me, did you note that it says that she is the granddaughter of a Rebbe Levi Yitzchak of Berdichev?
Right, I know. I think it's from both sides were descended. They're both the husband and the wife were both descendants. They must have somehow been related to each other, it seems, which is quite
Or it's not true, and it's only one side.
well, I don't know. Here it says that she was, and then on the Joseph's grave it says that he is. So I assume that they both are.
Yeah. Well,
Anyway,
if you have somebody who's a descendant, I guess if you check the DNA of 2 related families, you might be able to tell. I don't have any other ideas other than the Canadian Jewish Review. You want to check that, Gary? Take a quick look.
Okay, so we're looking for Joseph Greenberg. Is that right?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So under the Jewish category, there's 2 ways to search. I like to search in Google because they have better search. So there's a few entries.
There's a 1928 entry down below of Toronto. No, of Toronto.
Yeah.
No, Toronto again. It's your luck. You got a name like Joseph Greenberg. There's probably more than a few around.
So we can take a look and see what that looks like. And you can zoom in and see if you can find it. You can look for the page text. And there's marriage of Miss Molly Sweet to Joseph Greenberg. Doesn't seem like the right one.
Oh.
So
Try the next page.
the next page on Google, oh, I've never heard of such a thing.
Yeah.
In terms of Romania, do you have any ideas of how to search there? I looked on Jewish genealogy. Is there something that's a better search?
Well, I would, yeah. I mean, Jewish Gen has the ROM SIG, but I would contact one of the experts on Romanian research. You can contact Merle Kastner of our society, who might be able to help you.
Mm-hmm.
And Merle's email, I don't remember what it is offhand. I will check it right now. You can mark it down. And she may not have the answer, but she'll tell you who might be as helpful as the most helpful person around. It's Merle, Merle, MERLEK 18 at gmail.com. Okay?
Okay, thank you very much.
Okay. Let's go to the next one. You want to stop sharing? Or Vicki, do you want to? Okay, so there we. So who has a question now? Meryl, you have a question?
I have a question for myself, but I also wanted to maybe answer the question that was just asked by Emily. Does she know of Soren Goldenberg in Israel?
No.
He does he has a whole organization that does research on Romanian backgrounds.
What's the name again, please?
SORIN
Mm-hmm.
Goldenberg, GOLDENBERG, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
And his partner, I think, is Luke Radu. I think he's in the United States, but they have an organization and a website and a group on Facebook related to Romanian background. Very, very helpful.
It's just for a certain area. I think it's a Jewish genealogy in Moldova,
yeah,
Moldova,
maybe. Right.
And he's a brilliant researcher. He located a family of mine through a very circuitous route. But I don't know whether your town would fall into,
we're not really sure actually where they're from. I mean, they moved from Yassi, but it's possible that they weren't really originally from there.
He's definitely worth contacting. I'll try to find the website.
And I don't know where in Israel he is, because I know you're in Israel as well.
Oh, Israel's not a big country. It's fine.
Yeah, I know. I think that's where he is. I'm not absolutely sure.
Okay.
Thank you.
Should I ask mine, or did you want to ask somebody else?
No, well, you're on the screen. Ask.
Okay. Last month, I did ask some questions about my father's family. I have a question about my mother's family now. And I had sent you an email. I'm not sure if you received it with this question. When I started doing research in genealogy and went to Jewish Gen, I saw what looked like my family tree. It definitely was my family tree. All the names were there, some inaccuracies. And I sent a message to the person or to the number on Jewish Gen, and in the hopes of getting a reply, did not get a reply. And I was put in contact somehow with somebody at Jewish Gen, I think Elaine Polikoff. I think you may know that.
Eileen Polikoff.
Eileen Polikoff.
In New York. She's a professional researcher. And my very first trip to Salt Lake City was with Eileen and Gary Mokatoff in November 1994.
Okay, well, thank you. And somehow she found the name and checked to see whether she could share it with me, which she did. And I have another screen here. She told me it was somebody by the name of McGid, Harold.
Yeah, Harold McGid. Yeah.
Oh, so and she told me the name of the daughter of a Cindy Gellert, and I did. Do those names mean anything to you?
I mean, I Harold McGid. I think I know the name, but that's what it.
Okay, so I did try to contact the Cindy, both email and phone calls repeatedly. And in the beginning, she seemed willing, or I got once I got an email answer, and then she just stopped communicating.
Where does she live?
I think she's in Pennsylvania. And I just want to find out who posted my family tree. I have no idea who these people are. And what made me ask the question now is when I was looking at the JRI Poland site, I saw that there was a Robin McGid there who won an award. And
okay, so Robin is my colleague, member of the board of JRI Poland. She is fantastic. I don't think she's related. And that's her married name. I don't think her husband's.
Because I did try to find her on Facebook and sent her a message, but didn't receive any.
Well, she's also the chair of this year's conference that I should say Oliver Sholem because the conference was canceled, but she's the chair. And of course, now they're doing a virtual seminar as opposed to a on-site conference. And she's overwhelmed and she also has huge responsibility within JRI Poland. She's responsible for 83 towns in the Lublin gubernia. So very, very busy, but I don't think that this Harold is related to her husband. So I don't think you're going to get any, any help. But did you email Robin?
No, I don't have her email address. I found her on Facebook and I sent her a message through Messenger on Facebook.
Okay, so her email, just so you'll have it, is just hold on a second. Is Robin?
Stanley.
Yeah.
You send an email. It's the best thing is if you go on the bottom. It says chat. On the bottom of the screen is chat. And once you open that chat, then you can actually find the name of the person you want to send a message and put it in there. Because then you don't have to say it's S as in Sam or F as in Frederick or something like that.
Yeah, I'm just trying to find the how you open it.
Beside the share screen.
Okay, yeah, all right.
And then you select the person you want to send it to and put in.
And who is it I'm sending it to?
Well, I may be listed as MM. I'm Merrill Menon. I'm not sure how I'm listed there. Somehow my name is now only MM usually.
No,
if you can't find her, you can send it to everyone and she'll
I'll send it to everyone. It's no big deal.
Yeah.
I think I have her email address. I could put it in the chat.
Okay.
Okay, I see it. Thank you.
All right.
Do you have any other suggestions? I will definitely contact Robin about how I can find out who uploaded.
All right. So you said it's Harold Magid's family.
I think so. Yes.
Okay. So I would simply say, and she's not. You tell me again. You sent a message. She never replied.
To a Cindy Gellert, whose name I also got from Eileen Polikoff.
Okay. And do you know, have you been able to find out where she lives exactly?
All I think I know is somewhere in Pennsylvania.
Yeah. Well, because sometimes, there's somebody living down the street who's active in genealogy who will make a call. So what I would suggest you do, you could also write the Jewish Genealogical Society of Philadelphia and ask for their help.
Interesting idea.
Yeah, Andreas. Your microphone's off.
Hold on. Unmute.
Sure, it's Robin with 2 N on that email.
Yes.
Yeah.
I've seen it with 2 N's in other places.
Yeah, no, that's Robin.
It is.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. Vicky?
Yeah, I just wanted to share this. This is the Soren Goldenberg's Facebook page, and it's the way to contact him. Jewish genealogy in Romania and Moldova. This this was mentioned earlier as a very good source of research.
1,500 members, so you've got a lot of people to tap.
Yeah, well, he does. He has a whole lot of records that have not been published, and you do have to pay to see the full records. But not only does he send an elaborate record, but he'll also translate it. And I found it very worthwhile.
Okay.
Okay, let me stop sharing.
Thank you.
All right. So where are we now? Who we've got to address hasn't had a chance to talk. Most people are muted. Raise your hand if you want to ask a question. Okay. Yossi, is that you're asking a question? YAF. Hello?
Hi.
Good morning. What's doing?
Good morning. Good. No, I didn't have a question. Mine is kind of the same question as last month. I know I reached out to find out Miss Gutman, Micheline Gutman, contact for the France potential match.
Oh yeah, Micheline Gutman. Yeah.
And the response was, if you're in Montreal, it's best to speak to Stanley Diamond from JRI Poland. So I didn't hit a dead end there. I didn't have time to follow up saying I know most of it's Montreal, but I'm looking for more information that I don't necessarily have that might connect an outside link besides the Montreal. But the Moldovo link is interesting as well, because I've been researching it from my father's side, and I have not been able to locate, because they're from Yedetsi Edisis, and that's a very interesting link you just posted for that Facebook. I'm going to follow that up as well. So
okay,
I don't know what more to do with the Daniels. I've done the naturalization search. I've done the Canadian one. It's just, I don't know.
So you're talking now about the French link.
Yeah.
You're stuck on.
Go ahead.
Okay, so there are 2 genealogical societies in France. Micheline Gutman's Genami is a smaller group. I would write to the Jewish Genealogical Society of France.
Okay.
All right, so that's another option. We'll see where it takes you. Andreas.
Okay. Sorry. May I reiterate this last time also? There is a new website now for France. It's called FIL.
Can you put it in the chat window?
Yeah. Okay.
So this is my question, and maybe it's not. My question is that I don't know how accurate the information on the census is. Why I ask is that because the France lead, the census for his wife, which my great grandmother says Germany, but I know very 100% that it's not Germany. And then the next census it says Lithuania. So is it possible that they weren't so accurate even though the France and Germany border, right? Is it possible that they wrote France, but really wasn't France, that it was more part of Poland? Because that's where everyone keeps saying. Every time I bring up France, everyone says, not possible. It's got to be Poland. It's got to be Poland.
Okay, so if it's got to be Poland, when you say, where does Lithuania come in?
From his wife. right? So they're filling out the census, right? The census says he's France and it says she's Germany, but I know it's not Germany for her.
Oh, okay. So hold on. So, and they were living in Montreal until when?
He died in 1912 and his wife died in 1943.
Okay. So get the 1940 national registration for her.
I got it. And it says Lithuania. It doesn't say Germany.
Ah, okay.
That's why I'm saying I confirmed that from the census that it's not really accurate. It's from her nationalization. It says Lithuania, and the family's first-hand information says Lithuania.
All right.
So did they lie on the census?
So, I mean, you have to go to Litvak Sig and see what Litvak Sig has, and just where I don't see where Poland falls into play here.
Her husband, which is the Daniels, the one I'm trying to find.
Okay.
It says France, but I don't believe that it's France.
Okay.
It's too out of whack. It doesn't add up.
Is there any other source that confirms France?
No.
Okay.
No.
Well, and he lived in Montreal and died 1912, you said?
1923.
Okay.
I believe I found a sister. They were living in Lachine, and there's a sister that's registered. I found marriage documents that has him signing. So I know there's some kind of link and that information. So I'm all over the place with it, but I'm trying to narrow it down.
So what does it say for the sister's place of birth?
I haven't found that yet. I've just found their marriage. I found her husband's name, and I'm searching that as well to see if there's a lead. I'm searching how the connection between my grandmother and grandfather. One was from Vilna, Lithuania, and how did they come together? Maybe there's some kind of common something.
Well, as far as the where was she living until 1940? That the 19.
Yeah.
So did you get?
Sorry. Yeah.
Did you get that national registration?
I have that. Yes.
And that's so she was born where?
Lithuania.
Just Lithuania.
Lithuania. Exactly.
Okay. Well,
yeah.
Chances are that has some validity, and you'll probably pursue the Lithuanian sources.
Right. And his naturalization record I can't find because it's before 1915.
Yeah. Well. Okay.
Yeah, I know.
Who else has a question? Okay, Meryl.
Well, I just want to follow up. You gave me some good suggestions, but you seem to be familiar with the name Harold Magid. I note I have a middle name Gershon for him.
Well,
I could find out more about him.
Let me check my master database. Hold on a second. I want to see. And it's Harold, right?
I think it's Harold Gershon Magid, M-A-G-I-D.
So I'll try Gershon. No, I don't have any correspondence with Harold Magid, but I'm going to do one last check. Harold Magid. No, nothing. I don't have any answers other than somebody having to, find out where the daughter lives in. Some people just can't be bothered. Their father was very interested. They're shown as the link, but it's like, yeah, someday I'll do it when I retire. So
that I understand, but if I find out a little bit more about Harold Gershon Magid, I might find out more about his family and the connection to mine.
Right. And what does the web family tree show?
It shows I had done a search on my grandfather's name, Joseph Weinstein, and it shows Joseph Weinstein, his wife, his children, several generations of names that definitely match my family.
Okay.
And where they were from, generally from Romania.
Okay. Well, you have that Romanian problem again. So certainly you'd want to talk to Merle Kastner.
Okay.
and see what she can tell you as far as who's the go-to person. And as for the towns in Romania, you know the name of the town?
I know. I think my grandparents were from Falticini and then Roman.
I see. And have you contacted the people in the family finder who are interested in those towns?
I have not. I'm not sure I know how to do that.
Okay, so very simple, and I'll share screens, and so we go to Jewish Gen, and we go to search, and search. We go to the family finder, then search, and spell the town for me?
FAL, I think it's spelled different ways. FALTICENI.
TI.
CENI.
CENI.
I think so.
Okay, well, let's see what comes up. No. I think I spelled it wrong.
Well, I think it has different spellings in English.
It's an F at the beginning. Not an
Oh,
F.
I didn't see that. Yeah.
Oh, it's an F.
Yeah.
Falticini.
Falticini, yeah.
Merle has a lot on that.
Yeah, take a look. You'll see there's 154 people. And so you scroll down and you see, is anybody interested in your family name? Now, of course, you could actually search by family name. Alan Greenberg in Montreal. He's very, 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 very knowledgeable.
Yes, and I was in correspondence with him several years ago.
Okay. Right. And he had no further suggestions?
Well, I don't know if I asked him this question. I'll have to think of what question would be most helpful.
Well, write to him again.
Okay, thank you so much.
All right. And I just want to see if there's anybody else here who I can say would be a go-to person. Usually when there's like this case here, well, it's different spelling. So one name, but there's multiple surnames. Usually you can imagine that they have a lot of roots in the town. And with a lot of roots, they may have done a lot more research than the average person. Oh, I'm making a quick scan and see if there's anybody else that I know of.
The other town is Roman. My mother was born in Roman. It is. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it correctly.
Now here's Ben Lazarus from Montreal.
I don't know. You scrolled past Victoria Barkov. Soren Goldenberg from that site that I posted a few minutes ago discovered my family in Falticen. And sent me very elaborate records that went back quite a few generations. And he's really a valuable contact.
Do you know this Bear Lazarus, Vicky?
No, I haven't. It's all fairly recent, and I haven't been that active. But it definitely broke through a major brick wall of mine.
How large a town was it? 5,000?
I don't know. And it was it had a market town, and it was on the border between Romania and Austria, Austro-Hungarian Empire, and
well, okay, let's
had a pretty large Jewish population.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's take a look and get some insight. We'll go to the town finder, and we'll go to Genie, and here it is.
Yeah.
And you'll see that it had 4,216 Jews in 1930. You see this?
But it had 5,500 in 1899.
In 1900, right?
And probably mid 19th century, it might have had even more.
And of course, it shows you what the nearby Jewish communities are, and you'll also link to the Encyclopedia of Jewish Life and the Pinkus Kilot on it, and also the Jewish Gen Rom Sig. And of course, you could look under the database and search. What's the family name?
Weinstein.
And we'll look for Weinstein.
Actually, my search began because I saw another family name on a document. So Weinstein is what I knew them by, but I found out on my mother's birth certificate, there was Cunea, Cunea.
Okay, let's try Cunea and see.
EA.
Well, that'll come up anyway.
And Soren Goldenberg was very helpful in helping me understand that last name. He said it might have been a first name.
Yeah, so here are all the records that are listed for that name.
Huh.
You said Moldavia?
Yeah.
Is that what you said?
I think so. I think if Falticini and Roman are in Moldavia.
No, there's only one record.
Falticini is, I don't think Roman.
So here's Joseph.
That might be.
And his father was.
Well, let me take a picture. Oh, well, that's again, you're going to record it because that might be very helpful. Because my grandfather is Joseph Weinstein.
Okay.
As far as I know, but it must have been at some point.
Okay.
Okay, now what do you do now? Do you have to write to Archivio Nazionale di Romagna?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear that.
What? So one has to write to Archivele Nazionale alle Romagna.
The archives, that's the source. That's the source of the information. Okay, let me just go back here and see if there's anything about Moldova births. Is there anything else from Moldova? Let's take a look and see who else is searching that name. We'll do the family finder again, and we'll look for the surname Cunha, and we'll look for any country. Let's just do any country, Romania. And so we have one person, and he seems to be Falticini.
And Roman.
And he or she is very active.
Oh my goodness.
So you could, click here and send a message. Okay.
Wonderful. So I'll review the recording. Can you go back to that last screen?
I certainly can.
Thank you.
All right. And the other thing that, you never know when you go into Google and search something on Google. So, we'll just try that, for example. Or you go to, Ancestry. And so let's take a look at stevemorse.org. stevemorse.org. And we'll put in that spelling, Cunea, right?
Yes.
And what was a name you're looking for? Joseph?
Probably, yes. I mean, as I said, I knew my grandfather as Joseph Weinstein, but he may have had something to, I think he was Cunha before Weinstein.
Okay.
Or
So
there's some connection.
well, we'll just do a international search and see what we come up with. 1,537 entries. I have to laugh because my distributor, when I was in business in Portugal, was Cunha, Cunia, and he was not Jewish, as far as I know, but maybe he was.
Did he have connection to Romania?
Yeah, you can you can search by country. It doesn't give Romania as an option. All collections. UK, Ireland.
You could try Jewish under ethnicity. Go down to the.
Where's that?
If you go where you were searching for nationality, yeah, click on that, on all collections. Go down to the bottom where it says ethnicity and click on Jewish.
Yeah. We have to say, we exact lived in, we don't want United States. Edit search.
A little. There's US.
This place your ancestor might have lived.
Okay, so we've got 13 entries from Romania. Elia, Moise, Shoal, Soren, Hershon, Saul, Toba, Marku, Marcus, Hurst, and so the upside of having that name, of course, is it's a unique name and very, you could almost even go into Google and put it in Google and see what comes up.
I have done that, and I've done it on Facebook also.
Okay. All right. You want to take me off share screen, Vicki, please?
Thank you very much for your help.
Okay. Any other questions from the family here? Gail? Yes.
I'm wondering, the same way you had all those lovely records for Shemish, do you have for Ms. Rich,
From where?
Ms. Rich Podlaski?
Ms. Rich Podlaski.
Yeah. In the Sedlich area. I know I'm saying it all wrong.
Well, Ms. Rich Podlaski, of course, is near Biala Podlaski in that area.
Yeah, kind of.
We have,
yeah.
I'm sorry?
And Pischach, or Pisha, as I say.
We have an amazing collection of Mizrich. We're working on the books of residence now. The books of residence, for anybody who doesn't know, is a house by house census with the whole family together in one batch. I don't know what the status of the work is. It's being coordinated by Max. What his name is? Max in Sydney, Australia. No, in Melbourne. But I'm going to share screens again. And let's go share screens, share again, very quickly. And we'll close this down. Well, we'll leave it open. I want to save it later. Open. And so who is from Mizrich?
I've got two names. One would be Wachvogel. and one would be Distelman. We could do, if it's just one, I could do Distelman. I don't want that late.
I'm sorry?
So that's really late, 1931 on. I guess that's
No, but it may be late, but they may have had, family that lived there afterward. What's the family name?
What can you could do two?
Sorry?
One is Wachtvogel.
Spell it.
WACHT, like FOGEL.
Wachtvogel.
It's an L at the end. Wachtvogel.
Oh, Rothvogel. Okay. And the other name?
Is Distelman, which is DYSTELMAN.
TEO?
TEL.
L.
Yeah.
Distelman.
Yeah.
Okay. And this time we're going to put square brackets around the W and the D so that we don't get sound-alikes that are irrelevant. Okay. Seven rows.
All right.
And
okay, first one. That's my great.
So here's Moishe Wachtvogel, Roja, Rivka Dvora, and Ita.
Okay.
And here's the distal. Now these is just the index. We have the actual pages with the full information of the family.
Wow.
Do these names ring a bell?
For sure. The first one would be my great-grandmother's brother. The other one could be my great-grandmother. Well, there's lots of people. They had the same names. And the last one could possibly be even my aunt. Do you have a date on that one?
Okay. So the person to write would be Max. And I'll trying to remember. All of a sudden I got a mental block with Max. Let me see. It's Rich. Max Wald.
Oh, okay.
Okay, and his email is max.wald@bigpond.com.
Okay.
Now, if anybody's wondering what I was just doing, and if you haven't seen this is called X1. I can find anything on my complete hard drive that has close to 600,000 separate files instantaneously.
That sounds cool.
It is a gift that keeps on giving. The cost per year is, I think, about $35, or maybe it's a one-time. I don't even remember anymore. But it is, absolutely remarkable. If I want to see all the messages I've exchanged with, with Max Wald, I just put in Wald dash, and of course I have to have a good filing system, and all my entries, my file name is always with the last name dash the first name, and that is. But even if I didn't, you saw the way I searched Max and the name of the town, and I knew right away which person it was. So if you have any if you use PCs, the software is called X1 Super Search.
For understanding, if you have a Mac, you just there's a looking glass on the upper left corner, and
a Mac has more a more capable search than PCs normally. The search system it doesn't give you the flexibility of searching on two or different things. For example, if I want to know, now I'm switching from text and I'm switching to Excel, and I want to know what was it again? Waldvogel? How do you repeat again?
Wachtvogel.
Hold on a second.
W-A-C-H.
Okay, so let me just.
Yeah, it's a watchword.
Yeah. So if I go into now, if I want to see all the times that, so here's Wachtvogel, and you'll see that the name appears in Mizrich, in nearby Lukov.
Yes.
Hold on just a second. Let me sort this. So Biala Podlaska, remember I mentioned that?
Yeah, I know that one.
And if you look at Biala Podlaska census, you see that there is and that's the other thing, you get a preview immediately.
Yeah, it's my grandmother's sister.
And here we have Nochem Wolf,
Yeah,
Nuchovitz.
that's her husband. Yeah.
So that's in Biala Podlaska. Then you have in Lukov, and you have Mizrich and Monitor Polsky. Okay, you have Stajov, but let's take Monitor Polsky as an example. This is a listing, from Mizrich too. Oh, wow. Of Leah Wachtvogel. The Monitor Polsky is the Polish Gazette, and from 46 to 1952, 53, you see searches for family.
Right.
You see people who are trying to find information on the family or posting a search, and within 6 months, if no one comes forward, then they can claim the property. So if that happens to be a member of your family, Leah Wachtvogel, then getting that information can be very interesting.
Right.
And now what that tells you is there is a court file, and it's the court file that you would be ordering. And in one case, we were able to, and some of you may know the story, but a man wrote to me 10 years ago. He saw an entry for his father, and it showed that he was deceased. Well, his father survived, so something was wrong. And he got the file from the archives, the legal file, the court case, and it turned out it was his father's first wife looking for his father.
Wow.
He knew his father had been married before, and as far as he knew, his first wife had died. Both thought each other perished. And within a short period of time after finding that out and doing some more research, and we'd helped him a little, he found a brother 20 minutes away in Israel he never knew existed. His father had found out that his first wife had survived in the most shocking way. And if anybody's really interested, I will send you the story. Okay, next questions. No questions. Well, if there's no questions, it's 10:02, so we'll say goodbye. But before we say goodbye, I would just want to say to everybody, thank you for joining. And I hope that you all enjoyed it one way or another. You got something from it. And for those of you who didn't actually ask questions, etc., but participated, we really welcome your participation. And Gary, obviously, thank you. Vicky, thank you so much. And we'll see you all next month.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you very much.
And stay well.
Bye-bye.
Stay
You
well.
too.
Stay
Bye-bye.
healthy.
You too.
And as my wife tells me, don't do anything stupid.
Thank you.
All right.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.